Welcome to Adulting with Joyce Pring. Watch the full video of this episode on my channel, www.youtube.com/JoycePringTV. And if you want to level up your adulting game, check out joycepring.com/collections for my digital products and courses. Okay, number 4. We have 4 more points after this one. Another topic that a lot of couples, especially married ones, have a difficulty discussing is intimacy and sex. Discussing sexual preferences, desires, or any concerns about intimacy can be uncomfortable or even embarrassing for some people. So it does require a lot of trust, a lot of open-mindedness, and a lot of just comfortability with each other. So let's talk about this in the context of marriage.
Yeah.
Intimacy and sex. How do we communicate our desires to our partners without feeling shameful about it?
Well, first of all, ang daming madaming branches yung intimacy. So that's yung physical intimacy,
Mm-hmm.
emotional intimacy,
Yes.
and even financial intimacy na parang
Spiritual
intimacy. So you can go on and on. I see intimacy as figuratively being naked in front of a person, and that person accepts everything that you have to offer.
Mm-hmm.
So whether that be yun nga yung finances, if you're 100% intimate financially, and lahat ng 100% transparent ang partner mo sa'yo, it creates a closeness. So that also transcends into yung physical intimacy, which is sex, di ba? Kung alam niyong dalawa na inline kayo, parang preferences, married couples where they have a lot of responsibilities already, and yung siguro the ratio in a week or
Yeah.
the volume,
Frequency.
yung frequency, kung kailan mangyayari yung mga bagay, especially with us with 2 kids, it's kind of difficult, di ba? At
When
this
you're
point.
busy in general, I think.
Oo. So parang being open in telling your partner, ito yung nararamdaman ko, that's also being intimate without the action itself.
Yeah. Okay. So I want to say that with regards to intimacy, like this is in the context of intimacy and sex. Physical intimacy or sex in marriage, how healthy it is only an overflow of your emotional, spiritual, and mental intimacy with each other. The reason why, if you're wondering why your wife or your husband, more for the wife, I feel like, if they don't want to be intimate with you physically, it's probably because they don't feel intimate with you emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. And that's the beauty of sex with how God has designed it and created it, which is within marriage. The beauty is it's supposed to not be an ultimate thing. It's supposed to be an expression of love that is within the context of marriage, that is within the context of what God has designed it to be. So it becomes more beautiful when you are mentally, emotionally, and spiritually intimate with one another. And I think when you look at intimacy and sex in that way, it makes you value it more. It's not just two bodies having fun, quote unquote, which that's an entirely different podcast to talk about with regards to just sex being fun out of the context of marriage. It's an entirely different conversation. But sex is an extension of who you are. It's soul binding. It really is. It's soul binding. And so if it's soul binding, hindi siya magiging joyful or really fulfilling in the long run if there's no spirit, mind, and heart intertwining as well. And I think if you want your sex life to be better in your marriage, you have to start looking at what is lacking on the outside of sex. It's not even the sex part that you have to think about. Like, are you going on date nights? Are you guys praying together? Are you guys having deep conversations? Are you becoming emotionally intimate with one another? Are you guys acknowledging the issues that you have within your marriage? Are you, making your partner feel loved and romanced? And do you give them foot rubs, or, are your personal needs of the heart being met? Because if you don't want to have sex, and if there's no sex that's happening in the marriage, it's probably that. It's not that your partner is horrible at sex. It's just that you're not intimate in the right ways. And I think that's a conversation that not a lot of people really talk about. Kasi syempre, sex in our culture is mostly just looked at as a physical thing. But I honestly think that God has intended it to be, from the original design, an extension of an expression of love within the context of marriage.
Yeah, I agree. Pero that's also something that, 'di ba, parang uh, everything that you have discussed is also under the umbrella of intimacy in general, na parang yun nga, yung openness and conversations towards one another and preferences.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's a character thing, no?
Yeah. I think it's a values thing
A
also.
values
It's a
thing.
values thing talaga. Like, and that's a difficulty eh. Parang people don't think about it that way. Kasi diba
Mm.
the culture is always like, sex is just a casual thing. It's not. It's really not. Like, you can keep telling yourself that, but anybody who's ever been intimate with another person will tell you that it's not just a casual thing. Something happens in your heart and in your spirit
Yeah.
when you become intimate with
And
another
madalas
person.
jokes yan sa TikTok ko. Yan yung married couple jokes
Yeah.
that I'm parang engaging with
Yeah.
kahit sa ibang bansa yun palagi yung parang this is the number of times that we were intimate this year, ganyan ganyan. I'm gonna give you $1 for each time that we had intimacy this year. So congratulations, your Christmas gift is a cheeseburger. Parang ganon.
What?
Na parang
Cheeseburger.
konti lang basically dun
Oh.
sa taon na yun. Syempre, having heard you say that, it isn't same for other people. Kunyari, for me, that's why it's very important for me na share mo sa akin yun. And that's why I have to value all of these other things. And sometimes yun nga, because it is joked about and it's normal for other people na to withhold intimacy from other partners, and sometimes to an extent na parang using it as a weapon.
Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah, there are instances na yun nga, there mas more than lack of libido or lack of desire or lack of love. There's more things happening in the relationship that you should pay attention to.
Yeah. 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 And if you're married, please go and be intimate with one another. It's a protection for your marriage. It really is. So it's an important aspect of your marriage talaga. And even through difficult seasons, it's something that will protect your marriage. And I really think it's, yun nga eh, parang at the end of the day, I always go back to the design of God for marriage and for sex originally. Number 5, love. Medyo interesting to dahil personally ha. Madami-daming pinagdaanan mo dito. Number 5 is family dynamics. So conversations about family relationships, conflicts, or expectations can be sensitive, particularly if they are complex or challenging, or there are challenging dynamics involved. Now,
Galit na si Peanut.
ang galit na si Peanut. Especially in the Filipino culture, etong family dynamics talaga ay napaka-komplikado for a lot of reasons.
Mhm.
Now, dahil madami kang personal relationship, personal experience dito, ako po yung may complicated family dynamics. Si Juancho medyo straightforward. Okay naman siya. Yung sa akin medyo roller coaster ride. You never know what you're going to get.
I just want to start off with I'm so thankful that we have a manual of life called the Bible to follow and to revere and to honor. So, having said that, when you read the Bible, it talks about uh, yung living and cleaving,
Mm-hmm.
and also what to do with a lot of many things in life. So,
Maybe you have to explain leave and cleave to other people that might not know
okay,
what it means.
living and cleaving in the Bible, when you leave, when you get married, basically you leave your not necessarily leave your other family, yung pinanggalingan mo na pamilya,
Original
yung
family mo.
original family mo, but you have to leave their house and cleave to your new family, which is your wife now. That's your new family.
Mm-hmm.
That's someone that you will have the number one priority to.
Mm-hmm.
And
Unpopular opinion yun sa
oo,
Pinoy. Baka
actually,
makancel ka.
oh,
Lagot
unpopular
ka.
opinion yun. Pero sobrang dami ko na na-experience at naririnig ng mga instances where this doesn't happen, and that opens up a lot of other issues, or parang a can of worms, kumbaga, na parang dahil hindi nila napag-usapan to, they don't know how to attack it, 'di ba? Tapos may mafe-feel nung partner mo na hindi sila priority, na mag-lead to much bigger conflicts, 'di ba? Or
Issues,
issues moving
hurts.
forward. It's very this particular topic in itself is very tricky. Kung paano ko hinandle to personally is, yun nga, I just wanna say na thank you for following yung also leave and leave principle, na it was easy for me because I felt that whatever situation that we were in, whether that be in with your family or my family, I've always felt that I'm the number one priority. So kung hindi ko na-feel yun, at kung na-feel ko na may ibang mas importante kaysa sa akin, probably dun magkakaroon ng conflict.
Yeah. It's such an unpopular opinion, especially sa Filipino culture. Pero ang dami talagang problema. Nangyari din sa atin to na hindi ko man lang napansin na I wasn't leaving and cleaving. Remember when I was like trying my best to still fix the problems of the people from my past family, from my original family. So much so that I wasn't prioritizing our little family, our marriage already. That's when it becomes a problem. We're not talking about abandon mo na yung original family mo. No, of course not. You have to still love them, care for them, be close to them as much as you can be, but your priority has to change. It cannot be anymore na yung well-being ng spouse mo, ipuput mo on number 2 because of your family.
Yeah.
It has to really be that. And it's hard to do. It's hard to do, especially if you're someone like me that always tried to care for people. I'm not saying that na parang I'm the best daughter or granddaughter. I was always just trying to help my family. But it came to a point already where, it was causing a strain in our marriage. And I realized that I wasn't cleaving to our family. I wasn't cleaving to our marriage. So I think it's really that. And at the end of the day, you have to make those hard decisions. Kasi in the long run, it will not only benefit your marriage, it will also benefit your original family. How is that possible? If your foundation in your marriage is strong, it's easier for you guys to be strong together to help your original families. Kung kayo stable kayo mag-asawa, pwede nyong, you can make a decision together to help your other families financially. If you want to, kung may kailangan kang kapatid na pag-aralin, okay lang yun. Kasi solid kayong mag-asawa na, okay, we're gonna make this commitment together and we're gonna, help your family financially, something like that. Okay, we're gonna make this commitment together and this is where we're going to spend Christmas, this is what we're going to get for our parents, and hindi naiisip masyado ng mga tao yun kasi iniisip lang nila na hindi, kailangan kong sundin kung ano man yung sinasabi ng mom or ng dad ko eh. Pero pag may asawa ka na talaga, you are building your own family already.
Yeah. So ni-research ko lang yung meaning ng cleave.
Mhm.
Specific meaning of cleave. So,
Like, cling on to, diba? Mali ba?
parang su, so,
Ah,
su,
saw.
so, so,
Saw?
su,
Su?
su.
I am
Su.
sewing.
It's a verb.
Sewing.
Cleave is a verb, and
Sewing.
it's sewing
Yeah.
together with something permanently.
Mm.
So that's what it means to cleave with someone.
Yeah. So it's a complicated topic,
It is.
to say the least. But you made a really good point wherein it's also just a matter of making your partner feel like they're the priority and making decisions. Pangalawa is making decisions together.
Yeah.
And pangatlo, making sure na you still love your original family. Nothing really changes except that you're creating your own family already. And that in itself has its own ups and downs. That's it for this episode of Adulting with Joyce Pring. If you liked this podcast, please don't forget to use the hashtag Adulting with Joyce Pring and also check out www.joycepring.com for the show notes and tag me on social media with you know it at Joyce Pring. I'll talk to you guys again soon. Paalam!